Welcome everybody, Rob Rabashi here from NoBS Photo Success. This is our, I guess you can call it our first ever TV show with James Hodges and myself. We're both the founders of NoBS Photo Success. James will be joining us very, very soon. And I hope you like our new t-shirt. Anybody who knows us, been around for a while, you know that we always put these slogans on our t-shirts, and this one's got a bit of a story to it. James is going to come on to the set soon and explain how this saying came about. Maybe we'll touch a little bit on some of our older sayings. If you've been around NoBS for a few years, there's James. Is that a pizza?
Would you like a piece?
It's got a reflector. What are you doing with a reflector?
I'm playing with the lighting in here.
All right, cool.
It's reflectors, right?
Hey,
you always complain about needing more light. So
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's all about. Let's talk about light in a second. I just want to mention something to you guys. Let's move over a bit. There. Thank you.
Hi everybody, Haji here, NoBsPhotoSuccess.com.
So we do not have a name for this show.
We don't have criteria for this show. We do not have a format for this show.
We don't have anything for it. We're just shooting this blind, but we do want to have a weekly TV show, or maybe bi-weekly, maybe daily, maybe every midnight.
There is something I have to add before we continue.
Go.
Okay. I'm not apologizing. We're not apologizing for anything. There might be swear words. We're not editing them out. Might offend some people.
You never told me that.
Yeah. So you
That's
know
a deal breaker.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, I'm giving you forewarning. So you're gonna go ahead and watch this at your own risk.
Okay. Bad swear words, or just like
no, just
like damn or
like
shit. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Not the F-bomb. Unless it's really serious.
Free. When it comes to photography, free is the new F-bomb. Oh, that's it. There's another t-shirt. Free is the photographer's F-bomb.
All right.
That's what it is.
That's how we come up with the slogans.
I gotta wrate that down.
So anyways, we don't have a title. If you have any ideas, James wanted to call it NoBS Bull. No, what is it? Bull TV? NoBS Bull TV?
We don't have any photo show.
No Bull photo show. We're going to come up with something. And we're going to come up with some fancy editing. That's coming later. We'll get to that, but we just wanted to get this thing rolling. So.
All right. So that being said, let's talk about reflectors. Let's stay on track, even though we don't have a track.
Well, let's get off track for a second. What about telling us how you came up with that slogan?
Oh, yes.
This is so gay. We're in matching shirts.
So anyways, I was talking to Allison Burke, another photographer on one of the moderators off of NoBS Forum, and we were talking about, because I guess Canon announced the new camera,
yep.
And you know, everybody's like, oh, I gotta get this, I gotta get that, and we were having a meeting one time, and before, when it says, you know, you always hear that saying, it's not the camera, it's the photographer. It's not the camera, it's the skill of the photographer. Well, now we were talking, I was like, yeah, the cameras are so good and good now. It's not the skill of the photographer, it's all the camera. The camera does everything. And Allison was like, yeah, I don't even show up anymore. She's like, what, you just send the camera? And so that's how it came up. Our cameras are so good, we don't even show up anymore. We just send the camera, it does it all.
No, if you know Allison, she was at the Inferno a few years ago. She dressed up as Sarah Palin. No, can you imagine? She's crazy, by the way. She's totally certifiable nuts, and so is James. You put the two together, they're always talking on the phone or in person.
Mix in a couple of drinks and it goes
the conversations go into another dimension. So let's.
What was the other t-shirt? The other t-shirt we have that is made is...
one of my favorites is Real Men Shoot JPEG.
Yes. Yeah, that's an old one.
That's an oldie.
What's the one I just created? It's in there right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's NoBsPhotoSuccess.com, teaching photographers not to bend over and give it all away. Okay?
You can't do that.
Yes, you can. I can do that.
Okay.
That was my dance.
That's a dance. Do the dance.
And then we're gonna have another. So if you have any suggestions for slogans for our t-shirts, fire them off to us at interpolate@NoBsPhotoSuccess.com, and you know what, if we like it, we'll use it, we'll send you a free shirt.
You too can win free shirts.
You too can have fancy, successful t-shirts like this.
You almost said sex.
I did say sex. All right, so
sex and success.
That's all about, you know, let's talk about reflectors. If you are successful, you have more sex. It's given.
That's a given, yeah.
Unsuccessful people do not have sex.
And they have skinny kids.
That's okay, so back to reflectors.
What's with the reflector?
Well, you know, you're always harping, I'm always harping.
I love reflectors. I use them all the time.
We do. I use them all the time in my studio. I use them all the time outdoors. I'm not a fan of fill flash, you know, because I find with fill flash, let's take portrait photography. Okay, well, let's families, outdoors, indoors. Outdoors, fill flash, I find there's a real thin line between seeing the flash and knowing that it's lit with fill flash and having not enough so it doesn't. I always find, the good light. That's the success, right? You find the good light outdoors.
Find a good light. Find the light.
But reflectors bring in a lot of light.
Here's my favorite reflector. Now I got these from Silver Lake Photo. Do you have some of these?
Yours is much bigger than mine.
Yeah, mine's bigger than yours.
Yeah, I got a bunch of those.
You can build a house with this. This sucker's huge. What is that? 7 feet?
That's a 70. No, I believe that's a 72 inch.
6 feet tall.
Silver on one side,
Silver and white.
gray on the other.
I got 2 of these. Now when I show up, I want to just point something out. When I show up at a family or a wedding shoot, I bring 2 of these. And if I don't have an assistant with me, which I often don't, I just open them up and I put them on the ground just in front of the people. And it does pick up enough light because they're so damn big. But more importantly, what's cool too is when you're at a wedding, you show up with some of these. Everybody else is shooting their cameras, their DSLRs, their iPhones. They look at these and they go, ooh, he's the pro.
Except for the guy with the new Canon camera, because he's like, my camera's bigger than everybody. I'm the best.
But anyways, it kind of creates a geographic delineation between me and them. And it kind of intimidates people that says, oh, here's the studio because there's these reflectors on the ground and this photographer's using these weird, bizarre tools.
You know what else is nice about these? You're saying like at weddings or whatever, right? Because there's always other people shooting over your shoulder in pictures.
Yeah.
Well, if you're standing farther back with like a 7200 and you've got your family set up at the bride and groom,
Yeah.
and you're only going from waist up, you throw these down on the ground in front of them,
They're getting
everybody
better
else that's taking pictures is getting all those reflectors in their picture.
Here's a better idea. Get 8 assistants.
Yeah,
8.
right?
Get 8 of these.
You know what?
build a wall.
No, you know what you do? Every time somebody comes up with a camera, say I'm about to shoot your second shooter at the, you got a nice camera, you're shooting my shoot. You pretend you're the guest and you're shooting my site right now. Yeah.
That's the setup?
Yeah, there's the setup. So I'm shooting and you're shooting. You get the asset, keep shooting.
Hold on, I gotta get
Oh
the
yeah, you
camera.
gotta get your good one. So you get, what you do is you get 8 assistants with reflectors, so you can just come up and say, oh yeah, there, that lighting's good. Good, okay, and then I can continue shooting. All right.
So let's
Now,
move
the
on.
thing about reflectors is what back to the family portraits and that, I always look into the eyes of my subjects. You get right in, you look right at them. Look at me. You go like, you gotta get in close. So you're like, look at me, look straight at me. All right, yeah. Okay. Now what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for the catch lights and the lights in the eyes.
You gotta do it without looking too creepy though.
Well, yeah,
If it's a teenage girl and you're like,
that's not good. That's not good.
Or
So anyways, like Rob, I always carry, I've usually got 3 or 4 of these in my trunk. Okay, I've got the small ones like this, so if you want to come in close, we've got the big ones. I know this one here has got white on one side and gold. I actually never use gold.
a lot of people ask which is better, silver or gold. Well, one's warmer, it's
Personally, all my
whatever you want.
reflectors are white and silver. Okay,
I
and
have a-
shoot through.
I have a gold one only because that's all the camera store had in stock at the time.
Because you're gold member.
What?
You're gold member.
I'm a gold member, but I have a lot of reflectors too, and I got one gold one, and that's the reason why. It's because it just, oh, there it is in the store.
Yeah.
I don't really
So there's our one little photo tip of
yeah.
photo tip of the show.
Yeah, that's part of our format, by the way. We're going to have like photo tips, we're going to talk about education, we're going to talk about
Education.
philosophy,
Let's
and
talk
we're going to
about-
close off by talking about marketing.
Let's talk about education right now.
And we're going to roll that in.
What's coming up?
Inferno.
Inferno. The
InfernoWorkshop.com. James,
InfernoWorkshop.com.
Inferno Workshop's coming up, and if you're watching this, it's past November 18th. It's gone by.
You missed. You're a loser. You're a loser.
So, but anyways, look, we believe in bringing together the best in education in a no BS way, and the idea that I personally think is important is having an Inferno every 6 months. North, south.
North Pole, South?
South Pole, North Pole. Toronto is the North Pole. Nashville is the South Pole. Every 6 months. So April in Toronto for the northern people. We got a lot of people coming in from Illinois, Ohio, Ontario. Chattanooga. Well, those guys go to the Nashville one because Chattanooga is close to Nashville.
Yeah, but they come.
They still come. The real diehards come. We got members who've been coming like every single Inferno. So
So give a brief for people who do not know what the No BS Inferno is. Give them a brief rundown. I mean, it's
it's a workshop, 3 days. go all day, go all night, night owls at night, and we talk photography, lighting, marketing, posing. I like to get photographers who have some legitimate credentials and credibility, who are able to talk about what they're doing, both in how they capture good photography and how they create good photography businesses. Okay, I don't want theory. Okay, I don't want guys coming up there and talking theory, or it's not stuff that's applicable. So that's kind of where we go with that. And we have
How to
a whole
shoot
lot
the
of fun.
$50,000 wedding?
How to shoot the $50,000 wedding? You shoot one every 10 years. I mean, how many people are going to do that, right? So, anyways, we kind of go in that direction, and that's the way it's been going on ever since we had the first Inferno back in 2001. 2006.
Didn't we have our first boot camp? Oh, the first Inferno. I'm thinking the first boot camp.
First boot camp was 01.
2006, and that was in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, and we had one the next year in Niagara Falls, and then we brought it to Nashville, Chicago, Toronto, and now we're going back to Nashville. So InfernoWorkshop.com, go check it out, and really, seriously, school is never out for the pro.
Well, that's education. That's another. I gotta write that down. That's another T-shirt.
I didn't make that up. That's Earl Nightingale, by the way.
While we're stealing it.
Yeah, and I swiped it. We'll talk about
I'll
swiping.
spell school wrong, so it applies to us.
He's going to spell school wrong, so it's our own unique twist. We're going to talk about swiping later on, but right now, I just want to emphasize the fact that getting education in school is never out for the pro. Always learn. I don't know. I mean, just I have an insatiable appetite for both books and reading and videos. Sometimes I'll buy a DVD from a photographer, and part of me says, you know, the kind of the devil on this shoulder said, oh, we got some characters coming. That's right. And we got some puppets coming soon. Further, devil on the shoulder says, yeah, you don't want to watch that. I mean, Rob, you don't need to. You know that crap already. And the other side says, Rob, be smart. Be smart. Always learn.
Be smart.
And start that sort of thing, you know what I mean? So I get this part of me that says, you know, give it up, Rob. You don't have to learn. You're smart. You know it all. And the other part, that's my ego, by the way, in case you're, you know,
Wondering?
It stopped. It stopped.
What did it stop for?
It stopped.
The battery.
The battery's dying.
Do we have another battery?
No.
Oh. Do you have a thing to plug
It's
it in?
still recording.
No, it's not. Oh, it is still recording.
Hi. Sorry about that. We're back. And we're back.
We need to go smoke a doobie.
There were no drugs or illicit chemicals.
Yes, there was no drugs or outsourced influence on the content of our speech and
What were we talking
stuff
about?
like that.
We were talking about education.
We're talking about education, and you're talking about DVDs and your subconscious on, you know, the good evil about spending the money and purchasing.
I think they get it. Okay, let's move on to the next point. What's
Okay.
our next item on the board?
Oh yeah, we look at the board.
There are 4 types of photographers.
Yes, we've classified 4 types of photographers.
The first 3...
I'm the cool one. He's the old one. Is that part of it? No.
Yeah, that's the subcategory.
That's the subcategories? Yeah, you know what, over the years we've seen, you know, and all of you know about the motto of No BS Photo Success, right? It's making money, right? Being a success at your photography business. And I think, you know, photographers are classified into different categories on what they deem as success in the photography realm.
Number 1.
But everything we preach and we talk about and our beliefs on this TV show, you know, we're incorporating that into our business every day. This is everyday stuff.
Keeping it real!
It's about the message, man!
It's about the message! So what are the 4 types? Number 1.
Number 1, you've got the artsy-fartsy photographer that dress in black.
And he used to wear a ponytail.
And have a beret.
Yeah, that was back in the 50s and 60s, he had a beret. In the 90s, he had a ponytail.
You've got the artsy-fartsy photographers out there.
2 earrings.
And again, it's about the message, man. It's about the art. You know, I can't put a price on that. I got to do it for free because it's all about the art.
The art.
And the people.
So what's the second type?
We've got, what do we have here?
The emotional.
Oh yes, the emotional. The one it's all about the emotion.
And there's nothing wrong with
No,
that.
yeah, exactly.
Every once in a while, I get an emotion and I understand it. What was that?
What's this
No,
wet
I'm
stuff
serious.
coming out of my eyes? Yeah.
But it does, truly, there is a very legit component and element to being emotional and bringing emotion to your photography. But what we're talking about is the pure for the emotion only. I mean, there's
Yeah,
forgetting-
they're strictly forgetting all business, and
Yeah.
you can't make money off it because this is people's emotions and lives.
Number 3 is
The tech head. Oh, those are my favorites. Those are the tech heads,
why's
right?
that?
Because they probably spend more money on gear than what they're actually making as in a profit.
Every solution
every new
is
camera
tech
comes out,
based.
they gotta buy it. Because that's gonna make me a better photographer. I gotta have that piece of equipment because that's gonna make me a better photographer.
very left-brained.
Somebody always asks me,
Very technical.
they always ask me, when are you going to buy a new camera? Because I'm still using an old camera. When are you
So
going to buy
am I.
a new camera? I say, when this one breaks. You know, that's it. But those are the tech heads. It's all about the gear. It's all about the equipment because that's what's going to make good photos. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we've got another, the other one. The
By
last
the
one
way,
is
those 3, just before you continue on to number 4, those 3 kind of fit in the realm of the hobbyist as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of photographers who are shooting as their career. Some of them have spouses who have real jobs, and they're kind of helped out in that sense. I consider them to be aspiring pros, but still in the realm of a hobbyist, because you're not truly legitimately in business until you're actually paying your rent, paying your mortgage, paying your car payments, bringing home the bacon through your photography business.
Bringing home the bacon.
Bringing home
Well,
the bacon.
I mean, you've got the part-time photographers that are doing everything that we're doing, but they still have another job. They're professional.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a profession.
I mean, there's
I think
some
with
legitimacy.
I think with the amount of photographers that have come out lately, that whole who's a professional and who not is kind of gone away. It's gone out the window now.
Who not?
Who not? Who not? Who dare?
That sounds like a book.
You know, like
That sounds
you,
like
what do you consider a professional photographer now?
Okay.
It used to be it was your one full-time job, you're making 80% of your income off photography.
Yeah.
But I know full-time professional photographers and we've got lots on our forum that are, I mean, they're probably shooting more than me. They're probably making more money than me, yet they still have a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday job that has nothing to do with photography. I still consider them professional.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree.
there is a kind of a fine line between what is and what not.
So that all leads into number 4, the 4th type of photographer, which is the business owner.
Business owner.
You know,
Yes.
they're
Of course, the business owner kind of incorporates all those types into one, right? It's kind of.
but they're you know, I like to use the word, 2 words, prolific and renaissance. Sounds kind of cool. I like to use in there $5 words, even your fancy words.
My fancy Webster dictionary.
That's how they talk in Nashville.
And swamp people.
When I come back from Nashville, every time I go down there, I got this like accent in my head. Y'all, I'll tell you what.
I tell you what. What?
Tell me what.
So yeah, they get the business end.
Hey, shut up, let me talk.
All right.
I was on to something there. Don't make me hit you over the head with a reflector, because I will. I do have some super clamps too. I'll clamp your nose and lips together. Anyways, I just wanted to say, and I'll let you say your bit too. Prolific and renaissance. Renaissance is all about education and staying with the times, getting over your damn ego and staying adaptable, staying innovative, staying in touch with what your clients want and need. And almost in some senses, moving forward so that they don't even know what they want, but you kind of figured it out ahead of time. So it's like when Amazon came out, they all said Amazon was going to die. They said, that's not going to work. They said that over and over and over again. Sorry, but it worked. All right, so the guy, was it Jeff Bezos, had enough vision. And you got to be that way in your business. Okay, that's part of being a Renaissance business person. So prolific means you're shooting lots. Okay? You get into marketing, and this is what I realized in my business, in my career. The more I got into marketing, the more prolific I got, the more creative I got. So you got to get over this idea that there's this creative side and it's sacred. Oh, sacred emotion. Oh. Okay, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. You got to understand what I'm saying here. Approach it like a business. Be hardcore business. Don't have a problem with making a profit. Earn a profit so that you can feel good about, the more money I made, the better I felt physically, spiritually, emotionally, the more I was able to share with others, give away some money, which I believe in doing, by the way, giving away a certain percentage of your money, and saving money and buying my wife nice things. It's awesome. It's just awesome to be able to have that kind of financial freedom. It's not all about the money, but it is an important component. So this is all part of being a business owner, photography. Are you the photography? The photographer, and you achieve that through marketing. So really marketing, come on over some more. Marketing is the important component that I want to bring home to you. So, that's what's needed. And that's the fourth type of photographer, the business owner. What do you got to say about that?
I know you pretty well covered it. I'm in it to make a buck. I'll be honest. If I'm not making photography, somebody asked me this the other day, if I was rich and I won the lottery and I had millions and millions of dollars, would I still be photographing as much as I am now? No, I wouldn't be. I love photography, don't get me wrong, but I would be shooting the things that I want, and I probably wouldn't have my studio open full time.
I don't know. I love dealing with clients.
Yeah, but if you had
It's challenge. I love a challenge.
Yeah, different people, right? So so don't be afraid to. I mean, that's for those of you that are on the forum, right? You want to grow your business, you want to learn, you want to make money. Go for it. There's no. It's not wrong to ask for money for your art and your emotion.
Study, learn how to roll in that component and become that kind of a photographer.
So what's another good way? Let's go right into photo tip of the week or whatever. Here's a tip on how to stay on top of things. Let's talk about swipe files. You mentioned
swipe files.
You mentioned that.
That's next on our agenda.
I swipe shit all the time off the internet.
Let's define, what does a swipe mean? What are you doing when you're swiping?
Well, let's just say.
Are you stealing another person's
Yes, you are.
work?
Yep, you are.
Are you infringing on their copyright?
Yeah, because you know what? I took a picture of a baby sucking his thumb. Nobody else can do that. I trademarked that. You can't even take a picture of a baby with his finger near the mouth at all.
Oh, damn.
So swiping is when you see, you're online and you see a forum post and you see a beautiful image and you're like, oh, I got to swipe that. I want to do that myself with one of my clients.
It's borrowing the idea.
I call it creative theft.
Creative theft is a great way to define it.
And I do it
borrowing
all
an
the time.
idea and making it your own.
I actually tell my clients to go do it. I just did a baby session and I said, you know what? Because I might as well make it easy for my clients and give them something that they want, something that they'll be willing to pay money for. So I said, you know what? Go online, find some websites, find some images that you like. I don't have them print them out because technically that is stealing. I say write down the URLs, write down the websites, and when you come into the studio for our consultation, we'll go over some of those images. And that way when you come into my studio and we're about to photograph your baby, I'm going to give you exactly what you want. And I know you want it because you told me you want it, which means you're going to spend money on that. Mm-hmm. Instead of me trying to figure out what my clients want. I hate trying to figure out what my clients want. That makes it hard. And what if what I like to do is not what they want to do? Then it's not a perfect fit.
And that's where the consultation comes in, right?
The consultation, yes.
And you have them white down.
I have them white down. I want you to white down everything you do.
But James had mentioned earlier too, and this has happened to me on occasion, sometimes they just show up with ideas that they've got and they're like, oh, I really like this. And it's all part of the communication that goes on between you and the client. I agree with that 110%.
Yeah.
So if you really want to increase your marketing, your sales transaction, do a consultation.
That's a good point.
We're kind of getting into that now, but just to stay on swipe files for a second. We kind of got this topic because James had posted an image on the forum the other day, and it was a picture of a baby.
It was the baby's
toes.
Yes, baby's feet with the wedding rings.
The wedding rings on it. I thought, swipe, I'm stealing that, so I'm going to borrow that.
And I actually got that from another photographer.
So, you always got to be open to new ideas, and you can get them anywhere. You can get ideas for marketing from the National Enquirer. You can get wedding magazines, any national fashion magazine.
The advertising in malls. All the clothing stores?
Yeah.
I get a lot from that.
I remember going to Disneyland and years ago, my daughter when she was 7, and I saw all these posters and pictures, and I'm like, click, swipe, I love that pose, I'm going to do it.
Now, you don't want to take a picture of somebody's picture and then enter that into a competition as your own, because that's wrong. Okay?
Yeah, it's been done by others.
It's been done before. So you know what, you mentioned something about consultation, and it's funny you should mention that. You didn't mention it because we didn't have it written down there, did you? No. So anyways, if you
it's not written down.
If you want to give your clients a better experience and make it look like you are the all-time gods of photography because they came in and had a session done and you gave them exactly what they wanted.
They will love you for this.
Love you. And I got a hug the other day from a client, and she gave me a big hug, and she gave Joss a big hug, and I said, oh, we got hugs, and she's like, you don't get hugs from your clients? I said, no, we get letters and stuff like that. She goes, all your clients should be hugging you.
That's good. I got a neck massage from a big burly guy.
Oh, you liked it that much, eh?
It was awesome.
Okay.
Get those nuts
Anyway,
out.
so one thing that we started doing in our studio for all our portrait sessions, whether they're indoors or outdoors, we started doing consultation. They have to come into our studio and meet us and have a consultation where we're going to go over the finer points of their session. Clothing, what types of photos do they want? Where do they want it? When do they want it?
Dialogue.
We start talking about
dialogue.
pricing and packages. We start talking about wall portraits. So that, and not only that, we get to meet them, right? So we get to meet them, we get to interact, and they get to know us. And if they got kids, the kids get to meet us, and we have, we get on their good side. So when we show up on location, or they show up for the studio, it's not like, hi, how you doing? I'm James. Hi, I'm James. This is my wife, Jocelyn. All right, guys, just stand there, and I pull my camera, and let's start taking pictures of you. Like, for some clients that don't get their pictures taken often, that can be a lot of very intimidating. And, and they're like, oh.
That could be a lot of very intimidating. It could.
It could be a lot of very intimidating. So ever since we started doing these consultations.
I'm bugging you, sorry.
Ever since we started doing these consultations, I found that our clients feel a hell of a lot more comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Which gives us the opportunity to create outstanding images, and our sales went up
This is
because
so
they bought more.
important.
Not only that, the whole aspect of doing the consultation take maybe a half an hour to an hour more out of our time. But they're also seeing all the prints on the walls.
Yep.
We're already talking about wall portraits and clusters. We're already
planting seeds.
yeah, they're getting to know us. So now, what I think is happening with our clients' minds are like, we're investing some time into this. This isn't just show up, take some pictures, and we buy a couple. We sat down for an hour, we talked to them. It's not that they feel guilty that they have to buy. Maybe they do. Maybe they're like, wow, geez, they put so much work in there. I'm not just...
Nothing wrong with a little guilt.
No, nothing wrong with a little
to leverage the sale.
You know what? And I've gotten bolder in the marketing when we have the consultations, because they'll say like, well, I like the 8 by 10. I'll come right out and say, listen, these family portraits aren't made to be 8 by 10s.
They got to go big.
They're 30 inch. You want a 30 inch. And they'll come in and they're like, well, how much is a 30 inch? $5,000. That's how much it costs.
I'll tell you what, for you.
Anyways.
For you especially.
But we'll go to a couple episodes down the road, we'll get on sales and all
Yes,
that.
we're going to talk more about this.
But consultations, I'll tell you right now, if you want to make more money in your portraits studio, either indoors or outdoors, excluding weddings, because you should always be doing consultation, start doing consultations for all your sessions. You will increase your sales.
Meet with your
Even
client.
if you don't have a studio, go meet them at a nice little coffee shop. Go meet them at
their
Tim
homes,
Hortons.
kitchen table.
I'd suggest even going to their homes, because then you can start looking around their walls and say, hey, listen guys, like look, this 30 inch would look nice right over this.
You know what I like about Penn and Teller? The one guy never says a word. Can you be that guy for a minute? Sure.
But I gotta get shorter. There. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just joking.
That's funny. That's good. I like that. Penn and Teller.
Be the guy who doesn't talk.
Okay. That means you gotta talk.
Are you done?
Yeah. Well, obviously. you just got that. So okay, go.
No, this is we're done. This is the end of our first sort of episode of sorts,
Yeah, I
and
guess so.
that's a good way to close it with a good marketing tip. Consultations. I couldn't agree with you more on every point you brought up, and I'm glad you brought up to meet them at the coffee shop, meet them at their house idea. That's awesome.
So let's end off by saying, for those of you that are watching this, we want your ideas, we want your thoughts. If there's a specific topic,
Yeah.
email it to us. We'll actually give you credit for coming up.
Can I throw in one last
No,
thought
you're
on
done.
consultation? Just one last
Yeah,
thought. I
go
just
ahead.
thought,
I'm going to let Rob finish off. I will say adieu. I got some stuff to do behind the scenes. Adieu.
Adieu. Yeah, George Dean is somebody I interviewed as one of our monthly success interviews, and he said something, and I kind of agree with this 110%. He has this picture of, I think it's a mom and some daughters in his studio, big canvas print, and there's a story behind it. And when clients come in to do their consultation, he tells that story. And I kind of do the same thing with my wedding clients. I bring out a stack of prints, big prints, and I'm really telling them, like, look at these images. We're going to talk about some of the ideas, but really what I want to do is tell the story. They don't know that, but I strategically do that on purpose. Anytime you can bring out some of your images and tell the story behind the image, it'll inspire them, and they'll buy right into it, and they'll get involved, and that'll help your consultation go up tenfold. We're done. All right, thanks guys. This went a little longer than we anticipated. It was supposed to be 20 minutes, but that's okay. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you have any questions, send us an email. We are here for you. Thank you. Signing off.